Welcome back. We did have a crepe myrtle in this area. Looks like we still have a crepe myrtle in this area. It was awfully tall and it really just would touch the roof, and it would get too big for this area. And so we had to clip it back every year, and you know that that does not make crepe myrtles look that great when you have to clip them back every year or cut them back severely just to keep it in the space. So I wanted to put a Limelight here, and this is the first year that we've had this in here, first complete year that we've had the Limelight in here, and it's starting to do really well. But you know, probably will be in full bloom next year, even more so. Starting to look beautiful. The crepe myrtle's fighting to come back from the roots. I had dug it all out that I could tell, but I think I'm going to move it. It's a very healthy plant. Have it somewhere else if I can dig that up and clean this out. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about rooting Limelight hydrangeas, hydrangeas in general. So what you want to do is you want to find a leaf area that has not got a bloom on it yet, like this, and then you can clip it about here, a leaf area, an end of a branch that does not have a bloom on it yet, like this one. You can clip it out back to right here. This green part's going to be the healthiest part. This green part's going to be the healthiest part, susceptible to rooting easily. You can see that this growth right here was from earlier because it's darker. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip that here and a few others because they're everywhere. And we're going to try to have several of these ready to put in the ground next year. I'm going to come in here with my little hand pruners and do that now. Just come in here like this and a header behind the leaves. And there you have one. And we'll do that with several more here. And now that you've got several, I've got about 6 here. You're going to have a tray for your seedlings to put it in there with some nice healthy potting soil. And you want to take one of these and you want to strip the leaves off the bottom and just leave about 3 or 4 or 5 leaves at the top. You can even then come back with a blade and you can serrate these to cut them down. And then you want to basically also scrape a little bit down here, and then after you do that, dip them in the root hormone. So we've got one that we've already done this with. Note we've taken the bottom leaves off and we have scraped it up just a little bit at the bottom. We've trimmed up a couple leaves because you don't want to have a lot of weight on the plant that has no roots. Then you literally stick it in root hormone. You shake it off, and some people don't believe in putting it right in the pot like that in the container, but I do. Never had any harm with that. They say it can spread disease, but then you take it and you push it right down in there, or you can use a stick to do that ahead of time, to go ahead and make a hole. Then make sure it's firmly in there. So we're going to do that with the other 5. My plant, I don't really have enough to sample from for the most ideal. This is really the most ideal. See this light green stem in here? That's the most ideal. Some of those didn't have that, and I have my doubts that they're going to make it. But this one, which was at the top of the plant, I believe it'll make it, and maybe 1 or 2 of the others, but I'm not sure those that had the more hard stems on them are going to make it. So we're going to put this one in, and we'll have 7 to choose from, or 7 to try to survive. And you'll have some loss, so it's good if you have enough to pull from to fill out a whole tray or 2. You may get, you know, only a handful out of them, but it's free plants, and these are fast growing beautiful plants. Look at these oak leaf hydrangeas that I started about a year ago, maybe 2 years now. I haven't found a place to put them, but they started from that same size, and now look how well they're doing. I was making sure they weren't sprouting roots through the holes. So other things that I've rooted in a similar manner, my other video on Thuja Green Giants. I've got a couple there ready to plant. So we're going to come back in a little bit and we're going to show you what the roots look like in several weeks. We're going to check back on this in about 4 weeks. Alright, quick update. It's been a few weeks. I don't even know how long. 4 weeks? Maybe? I don't know. But like I said, some will work out, some won't. You'll have some pests coming here. I think these might be a type of caterpillar. I hadn't seen them directly on here. That powder that you see, I put some 7 dust on it when I started noticing all the damage. So, I mean, this guy over here as a Limelight is probably not going to make it. But then this one is robust. And this one back here actually has a flower on it. And it's making it. I don't think that flower was on there before. Maybe you saw it, or maybe you saw the potential for it with some buds or blossoms. And these look healthy too, other than some caterpillar damage. So we're going to take a couple of them, and we're going to go ahead and look at the roots and transplant them. Doing this with one hand, so let's do a quick look at getting some potting, not potting soil, but some garden soil in here. And we'll transplant at least 2 of them into some bigger spot here. Alright, got some dirt in there, ran out of dirt, so that's all I'm going to do is probably 2. I have to come back and do the rest, but this is the example. So this does have some fertilizer in it. So you could go to your compost pile too and get some fresh dirt if you've got a compost pile. It's got the breakdown back here, but it's just regular garden soil with a little fertilizer built into it. And we're going to take these out, some of the bigger ones, and we're going to see what the roots look like after just a few weeks. Just give this a slight squeeze at the bottom to compact that together, and then try to lift out the actual plant. I mean, even I am surprised. Look at the roots on that thing. I'm not going to tear those off because you want to leave that intact, and then I'm just going to put it in there. I really don't think it's been 4 weeks. I don't know for sure. I'll have to go look at the timestamps on my videos, and I'll come back and I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and settle this one in, and I've got enough dirt on here. It's going to give me a little extra dirt to put in the other pot. Alright, now I'm ready to set this in here, and you should always plant a little deep for almost all plants. So we're going to come back in here with this around it, and you'll see what it looks like. I'm going to plant it deep. You may take off now these bottom 2 leaves as I do that too, and that'll be okay because those will turn into nodes that could root too. So there we have it. And I went back and looked at the timestamp on the first part of this video because this is time-lapse. You're seeing all this in one video. July the 12th to August 21st. I think that's 5.5 weeks. Incredible amount of roots that the Limelight did, and you can see that the oak leaf hydrangeas are doing well too, and we should just take a look at those to see what kind of roots are on them at least. I'm going to lift one of those out, but let's look under here and see how the roots are doing, because that's an indicator too. You see the roots coming out from the bottom? From the Limelights at least. I don't see them from the oak leaves, but that's got to have some good roots on that one. I'm going to lift one out and we'll take a look at it. Nowhere near the same amount of roots, but it's still healthy. So initial inspection here is that the roots, it didn't even come out as a whole root ball like the Limelight did. And you know, I planted those the same day, or at least close to the same day. Alright, so I'm going to replant this guy, and we'll let the oak leaves go a little longer before we do any transplanting of those. I probably did tear some of the roots off. I don't know if it'll hurt this one, but it was in the sake of YouTube for that. So, Limelights, easy to root under this, and I think that I actually seem to prefer them a little bit over the oak leaves, but you want the oak leaves too. They're sought after as well. I got some areas that are very shaded in my yard. I want to ask anybody knows about Limelights. I was at the University of Minnesota at a work conference nearby, And I saw a very shaded area that must have had 50 limelights under it, and they were doing well and blooming, and I was surprised. I thought they probably needed at least more sun than that. But maybe it's the local climate of Minnesota that made them do well. Let me know what you think. I'm in North Georgia, and if they would do well under shade, under almost full shade. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let's get them answered below by either me or anybody else that posts. Like, share, and subscribe.